Preview.
Kind of nice to be able to see when the intro's over and we're not just staring at the screen.
I love the new
complete
screen.
Clowns.
I think it's cool.
Episode 82, Tommy Stitt, David Winker, Mainline Marlins podcast. Disappointing loss last night. We had the game in hand and then went to the bullpen. Now listen, Bender, Simber, Bass, perfectly fine. Braxton Garrett, although he was responsible for that second run that Bender ended up that came in when he was in there, he was responsible for that run, so he ended up with 2 earned runs. Not a bad outing for the kid. I wasn't.
But tell me this. So let me reframe this for you. So the Herald, I think it was the Herald article, was like, we lost this game in like troubling familiar fashion.
Yeah. One guy in the bullpen created the meltdown, Dylan Floro. But other times he's the hero.
Yeah, no. And it's interesting you say that because I got to tell you,
I hate that.
I was reacting to that article. I actually was really, I didn't like the loss. I stayed up. I watched the game. I hated that. It was a late start.
8:15 because it's Central Time.
And my wife's like, my wife would kick me out of the bedroom, like, turn off the TV. So I had to go downstairs, watch the game. So I'm like invested.
That's a regular occurrence.
Yeah, exactly.
You're acting like you're the victim of
some unusual circumstance.
Yeah,
I went downstairs and I was like, I'm totally invested in this game. And it's just like, back up for a second. I've never seen 2 missed home plate tags.
Oh, well, that second one that guy was definitely out. Adam Duvall was safe all day long.
Yeah.
That was a bad call.
But I've never seen that.
We would have had a better.
But the point was,
at least had another run.
So I had a couple of reactions to that article because I was very frustrated by the loss. It sometimes, and I don't use this word lightly, but it's like the Marlins offense seems constipated.
Yeah.
Right. It's like we're dying. We got the guys. I don't know what it is. It's baseball, right? But that's what happens. But there was this issue of, did we lose it like we always lose it? And we kind of did because we didn't have enough offense. It's like, can you win games when you score that many buckets? When you score that many runs. But I also, who lost it for us, it kind of reminds me of an NFL game where I remember somebody going for an interception and missing.
Yeah. And
the reception, it leads to a field goal, whatever. They win the game. And the coach was asked kind of to criticize the guy for taking the gamble.
Right.
And the guy's like, hey, listen, man, like we live or die with that guy, right? That right. Safety or whoever it was, is like 9 times out of 10, he makes the play. Right. It actually probably was the right call.
Right.
He didn't make the play.
Right.
So I ain't going to condemn him for the decision he made. He usually makes that play. Right. And bringing in that pitcher, there was nothing, it was the floor. It was the right decision
timing for him.
And he blew it. So I don't know what to make of it. And it is funny how, it was a tough loss after what we saw.
Yeah. Yeah. And that was a team that has been basically beaten up for the last, lost 13 of the last 14 games.
Yeah. Well, we talked about it. If we were betting people, we said we would have betted that's your home. It's like, how's our season going to look? What are we going to do? Are we just going to roll over? Are we going to turn this around at home?
Right.
And it was interesting because I got to tell you something. We talked about stadiums before. My personal favorite place to watch baseball
where is
St. Louis.
Really?
I don't know what it is. I'm not a Cards fan. And it's interesting because now later in life, I have the Cards here, for spring training. I don't really care about the Cards, but I think there's something special about watching a game in Kansas City or St. Louis. It's a very knowledgeable, sorry.
That's all right.
Very, very knowledgeable.
Amber Alert? What is that?
No, I don't know what. Yeah, some alarm. Very knowledgeable fan base. And you're sitting in the stands. It's like everyone has season tickets. They go to every game. And it was funny, like just seeing those shots of St. Louis. I have a special effect. I think St. Louis. It's kind of what we talked about, how it's like playing. Like we talked about young player, baseball player, and you're stuck in name the city. And it's like people who haven't lived in baseball towns don't get how big a deal baseball is in northern cities. If you're a Minnesota Twin, like we think it's like Minnesota, who wants to live in Minnesota? And it's
not
like
too many people,
but if you're a Minnesota Twin, like you're the only game in town in the summer. Everyone goes to the games. It's a big deal.
Right.
And that's how St. Louis is.
Right.
Like they
Detroit.
love Detroit. Exactly. The Tigers. Like St. Louis, loves their Cardinals.
Yeah.
That's the only thing going on
I
in the
hate
summer.
them because I grew up being a Cub guy.
Yeah.
Padre and then Cubs, and then I worked for the Cubs. And listen, we hate the Cardinals. I hate everything about St. Louis. I don't like their ribs. I don't like their
You don't like their barbecue.
I don't like their barbecue.
You don't like their women. You don't like their
women
guys.
are ugly. Yeah, the city stinks. Smells funny. No,
You hate that arch.
I hate Budweiser. There's nothing good about it. The
That's
only
right.
thing that ever came out of St. Louis was Harry Carey. That's it.
That's
That's
funny.
the only thing. No, I can't stand them. Yeah, they're up there on my list of
And I got to tell you,
most hated franchises.
I don't bet on sports, but if I had to bet, I think the Marlins bounce back tonight.
I have a feeling too. And well, look, you can't help but see that as a possibility because Trevor Rogers is on the mound against Kim, who's not been very good this season. So
we're gonna start. I got to tell you something. I'd almost like I need to start bringing the graphic. I'm gonna do this every time the starting pitcher comes up because it's like every game almost when it's not a pen night. Every game when it's our starter versus their starter, statistically, our starter's better.
Yep.
I mean, it is.
Trevor Rogers is infinitely better than.
That's what I'm saying. On paper,
yeah.
And I mean, in this case, really is. But whenever we talked about being, we were always like, oh God, here we go against their ace, and it's like, oh no, they got to go against our ace. Now the problem is, can we score more than 2 runs?
Right. That's the serious problem. That is a serious. I mean, listen, I came in today thinking I'm going to do the Santeria show because the bats were pretty cold. I'm going to hold off because we're really not at full strength, so it's not fair to do it. Jose Devers now on the IL with some shoulder inflammation or an issue with his shoulder. We did bring up right-handed pitcher Luis Madero from the Jumbo Shrimp, who has been pitching pretty good. The times that he did play in the show, he probably was not ready for it, or it was a stopgap type of situation where we put him in the wrong spot and he didn't really do that well. He's been pitching well in Jacksonville. So he's up. But man, look, if you just look at the transactions list of the Marlins on a daily basis, it's
that's
off the IL,
on
the IL.
Yeah.
Now he's on the 60.
Move up, back and forth to Jacksonville.
Yeah. Good news though, and this is something that happened after our show yesterday. Starling Marte, NL Player of the Week, batted 500, 14 hits. Yesterday, not so much. Actually, absolutely nothing, but great in the outfield.
Yep.
So, I mean, can you imagine a Marlins team that not only do they play like gold glovers in their positions, but then they hit the way they're supposed to hit?
Yep.
Then we're unbeatable.
Were there some miscues in the outfield? Were there any errors last night?
Not on our side.
Yeah, but there were. It's interesting because there were some balls that I thought I actually thought to myself, I was like, they may have caught that ball in Marlins Park. Did you notice that a couple that went off the wall? I'm like, he kind of like Duvall, who's just like money in the outfield. I saw a couple times where I'm like, whoa, like I wonder if he would have made that play. And it wasn't an error. It clearly wasn't an error. It would have been a spectacular play. Yeah. But I did have a couple moments.
And I want to say, I think Sierra took one off the wall that I thought he could have legged it out and caught it.
That he might have been able to do it. So I don't know. It was interesting. That's how I felt. But I mean, listen, they were hitting our pitchers hard. Yeah. It's like when you see those.
No, but Bender pitched great.
I know.
Simber pitched great, your sidearm guy. And then Bass, who I've been up and down on the whole season, pitched pretty decent. And then Flora, who I was like, oh, we got this in the bag. Boom, nothing. You're just seeing like frozen ropes. It was interesting. My daughter, not this game, but another game she watched, Simber comes up, and it was funny seeing her little 8-year-old. Like, we talk about throwing and the mechanics and everything. And you don't want to teach that.
She just looked at it. She's like, Poppy, why does he throw like that?
Right. Well, because he can't throw any other.
And then here's the other thing. And then, that's what it's funny because I said, well, that's how, that's a style of throwing. Yeah. And I'm like, would you like to learn to throw like that? Just joking with her. And she's like, no, I don't. That looks weird.
It does.
He does look weird.
It does look weird.
It's like through the eyes of, it's funny because I remember taking a course on beauty, what constitutes beauty in undergrad. So you got some sort of grad seminar they stuck me in. And it was like, is it reproductive?
In art, in everything?
Everything.
Okay.
And so it would be like, is it symmetry? It seems like a lot of it is science of symmetry. Like, you look at a beautiful face, it's the symmetry of it.
Yeah.
You look at a beautiful dog. Like they're trying to get
eyes aren't too close together, like Deliverance.
they were talking about, is it danger? Is it comfort? We look at a golden retriever face.
Yeah,
it looks beautiful
Sweet
to us
face,
because that's a friendly dog. It just went through all this stuff, and it was talking about human beauty, and they really struggle with human beauty because is it reproductive? Is it like the monkey tribe thing? Like, what was it? And I always say that it's like when you have a kid, you actually see what beauty is. Like my daughter from a very young age, like if there was a very handsome man or a very handsome woman, like you see the kids, like they look, like you could see they
innately know it until they're taught otherwise.
They recognize it as something. And I actually swear I laughed at that because I was like, here's my daughter looking. Like I find it fascinating watching Simba pitch, just the mechanics and the way he puts his leg all jacked up. Like he looks weird.
Right.
And it was just like my daughter was like, ugh, like it looks yucky.
Right. But it's a different kind of beauty,
and
effective last night.
You and I love it. And we love it because they don't see it a lot.
Right.
It's like
the knuckleballer.
It's like
Everybody
the knuckleball.
Loves the knuckleball pitcher.
Yeah, I think it's great to throw it in there and mix it up. And again, also it goes to these guys that have grooved these swings. We talk about it, and that ball moves when he's throwing it knee high. That ball moves in ways that no one else's ball moves.
Right.
And I got to tell you something. Like you have to give me the stats for Simber, but Simber's pitching well.
Yeah, he's pretty decent, man. Out of the ones, I didn't expect him to be one of the standouts. I thought he'd be kind of one of those guys. Waiting in the wings to have an opportunity.
I mean, I would call him a setup man. He'll give you an inning he could do 2 innings
too. Yeah.
He'll get you a lot of ground balls. So it is interesting.
So this is something I want to talk. I mean, I read this before the show. Christina Di Nicola, who we've had on the show, she is an absolutely brilliant writer. I can't imagine how hard she works because she's watching the game. She's doing all of and then taking all the notes and then producing an amazing article significantly of significant length that has a lot of insight and depth to it.
Yep.
And so she wrote one, you just look at the time it got posted. I love Christina Di Nicola. She's awesome. 1:32 a.m.
I bet. Yeah.
Now I'm not sure if that's Eastern time. So
it was St. Louis time. It was 2:30 in the morning. She pumps the article
out. And the title of it is 4 Crucial Areas Sink Marlins in Opener. Playing short, meaning we got a short bench. We got no place to go to if we need to pinch hit a guy or make a move. Somebody's not doing what they're supposed to do.
Wait, this is from last night?
Yeah.
Okay.
Number 2, caught napping, a.k.a. Asan Diaz on first.
Yep.
Never should have gotten caught.
Yep.
And that was probably a miscommunication between whoever told Curtis on that bunt what to do, and then that messed up. The close call that Duvall got called out, that was obviously safe. Garbage call the guy that called it, I could see him when he came back to the bag, he was out.
Yep.
But his hand crossed the plate.
It seemed like it.
Yeah. Bad call, New York. And then missing the zone, meaning Dylan Floro.
Yep. And
then to some extent, Braxton Garrett.
Yep.
But if you think about it, those are the 4 things that have hurt us all season. We got injuries. We got guys that aren't really 100% on the base pass to be able to, make some bad decisions and get caught. Asan's got caught a couple times. That's not his first time to screw that up. And then not hitting the zone or not hitting the zone early.
Yep.
And taking time to get there, and now you got guys on base.
Yep.
Because you walk people. So I mean, those seem to be our 4 horsemen of the apocalypse for the Marlins so far.
It's interesting. Yeah. So listen, that reminded me. We've always talked about. Remember, I told you about. I can't remember who it was. It wasn't Ovechkin, but it was another. Who's that American guy, the Olympian that plays for the Washington Capitals?
I don't know.
But anyways, he's
I can tell you every black.
They lost that game. They lost a game. They swept the series before. They got killed. The other team went 7. They're in the Stanley Cup Finals, game 1 of the Stanley Cup Finals, and they get
Vegas.
I can't remember. No, this is back. This is a couple years ago. But they lose 5-1, and it was like they're trying to get the guy oh my god, how could this happen? Whatever. And the guy's like, what are you gonna do? We're gonna go home and go to sleep and come back tomorrow and kick their ass.
That's it.
And I think that's the athlete's mentality. And I think that here we're ruminating this loss because it hurt, and these guys are just raring to go, get back out there.
Yeah. Jazz had a great two RBI single.
Oh my God, how exciting is it's funny, and maybe this is like my old grandpa baseball fandom, but like seeing Jazz square up to bunt. Like that reminds me of when I was young. Like they'd have like I can't even imagine
team bunting.
No, but what I love about it is just like putting that in his arsenal. That if you're that third baseman, is he going to bunt? Is he going to pull it back? And hit a screamer at me. Right. Like it's like I love that. And I was thinking about that earlier in the season. Is like, why don't you have that guy drag bunting just to drive them insane? Just to drive those infielders insane.
Why not? Why
just
not?
Square up, switch it out.
And believe me, Donnie Baseball is old school enough to be able to pull that off.
Yeah. When I saw him do that, I was like, I forgot that like a sacrifice bunt. We talked about the most exciting plays in baseball, and a sacrifice bunt is so boring, but it's so exciting.
It is at the same time. And listen, squeeze play is squeeze is my favorite.
Well, yeah, exactly. But even just the way, and we all know I played baseball, like that. You talk about the energy that like the pressure it puts everyone under.
Yeah,
it's funny because I'll tell you a funny story. I remember I had a friend that moved to town. He just got out of the Peace Corps. And he's here doing something government work. And he was a high school ref in South Carolina. And he never got a chance. He wasn't here long enough to start reffing, but we would go see high school games together. And he pointed out something to me that was very interesting. We were watching, Northwestern Central, some super important game. And, it's down to 2 minutes. The ball's inside like the 8-yard line, there's like, 47 seconds. And they're they got to score a touchdown to win. And I never forget him saying, like, this is high tension on the refs too.
Yeah.
Like, do you call the holding? Do you not? Like you hate they're supposed to be consistent through the game.
Right.
But are you are under the pressure.
Do they elevate their play? I mean, the calls, how they call
it's the same thing. It's the same thing for them. And then I was thinking about these umps as like, is it just me? Are the umps not doing a great job?
Terrible.
I mean, it's not so much, they have that graphic now and you can see exactly where the ball went, when, at what speed, what rotation. And it's not just that. Like I've watched that for years now. We've had that for 2 or 3 years. I have never seen so many balls outside the zone
get called strikes. Yeah. And there were some yesterday for sure. You could see the reaction from Jazz.
Now, I wasn't watching closely enough. Now, it's one thing, right, if he's calling it consistent. Like, let's be clear. Like sometimes,
then what you
sometimes there's umps that are just going to give you that pitch, right? They're just going to give you that outside corner, and that's fine.
Yeah,
I don't know that they're being consistent from what I'm watching.
Listen, I saw a Wainwright ball that was probably 6 inches below the box of the strike zone on TV.
Yeah,
damn near a dirt ball get called a strike.
Yeah,
that's garbage. Yeah, they got. Listen, I'm not against Robo behind the plate. Because then you got there's no question about it.
Well, you're also I don't know what you're going to do that, but it does true up. Like someone's got to talk to some of these, but I don't know on these replays. I find it's very interesting because it's like if you're not going to follow the replay, like if it's going to be this kind of like as lawyers we're like, there is a burden, you have to overcome a burden.
Clear and convincing.
But if you're going to make the wrong call and then say the video evidence isn't sufficient all the time. Like, just get rid of the rule. Like, don't waste our time. Like, I don't like the review.
Right.
I want to get it right. And I do think we all believe that, but these delays, and I actually think baseball does it right. There's not that many reviews, but then I'm watching them, Tommy, and they're getting them wrong.
Right. That home plate umpire last night got both those calls at the plate wrong.
But why? No.
Well, he called Duvall out and he called the other guy safe.
No, he called him out.
Well, eventually the review.
You think, yeah. No, but I'm saying the reviews they're getting wrong.
Yeah.
The reviews I think that they're getting the reviews because they're like, wow, there's not clear and convincing evidence. This one camera angle is not quite enough. So
we'll buy some more cameras. They got money. Because if you could have seen a little better view of Adam Duvall's left hand touching the white part of the plate when the ball was still loose, safe. Does that change the outcome of the game? Maybe, maybe not.
It's funny. Who knows? It's just it's such a momentum kill when you just sit there, you're waiting.
Yeah, and then out. What? And it was a weird call because it were two things that they were challenging. They were challenging the call at the plate, and they were challenging something else. And he was like this, and then he was like this. I'm like, what? Yeah, so stupid.
Well, that's what they were doing on the second one. Remember?
Yeah,
It
they
was
do.
like did he like? Are you reviewing the initial tag or the subsequent tag?
Right? Who knows? I have no idea.
Is it
Listen,
first
the
tier
guy was out.
certiorari, second tier certiorari review? Like
Yeah.
you gotta.
Yeah, dude. You got to have an advanced. You got to have a LLM to even know what that's all about. But tonight, I'm optimistic about tonight, man. Look, we're going to bounce back with Rodgers. He's always going to throw a solid game. We just need to get the bats warmed up. And against Kim, we should be able to get light that guy up a little bit. Let's get Marte back on track. He didn't do anything yesterday. After being named NL Player of the Week, throws a goose egg up there. So I think he's going to be ready again tonight. Look, Alfaro, I think, is playing significantly better and has been since he came back. Jesus Aguilar also. I mean, but this guy, he is a road warrior. What he does is hit home runs on the road. He's leading the National League in RBIs, fourth in all of baseball in RBIs. The guy's a beast, but
so last thing,
maybe he's not in the right spot.
Last thing I want to bring up is, remember the other day I said, when we score in the first inning, we tend to win these games.
Yeah, we didn't score.
I haven't pulled the stats, but then I saw somebody did a thing saying that we've scored the least, either in the NL or MLB, the least runs in the first.
That could be true.
They said that.
Yeah.
I thought that was interesting because when we do,
we win.
And we win. I don't think there's any. Well, I don't think there's any magic. It's just gives us more innings to score runs. We score. I'm going to pull, and I always do this because it always falls on you, the statistics. But I'm going to pull where we stand just on runs scored.
Okay.
Just in the league because I think we're very low.
Yeah, for sure. But looking forward to tonight. Let's try to flip the M tonight, man. It's look, we're gonna have to go against the Cubs, who got beat by the Mets last night at Citi Field, but they were on a long homestand, and they're in a similar situation. You going to a foreign place in another town, and you got to adapt, and you're on another time zone. And
I was thinking
against a pretty good Mets team. Sorry, Grabkowski. I actually admitted it. That'll be the last time this season.
Yeah, exactly. Don't do that again.
I can't stand them.
It's interesting, like where we're at in the summer is, having a kid. She started sailing camp yesterday, first day of summer camp, and it's like the natural rhythm of the summer. Like now, it feels like summer to me. Like, my kid's in camp, and she can stay up late watching baseball with me, like as late as she wants. Like
that's
no one's,
awesome.
It's summer. We're having fun, and it's interesting because mini camp for NFL is coming. And I don't know why I've always marked the calendar that way. It's like, okay, like this is like basically, it's almost like football comes to an end. Now they're going to have a month's vacation, and then they come back August. Like football, football's around the corner.
Yeah.
It's really the dog days of baseball.
Yeah.
Like, this is these games you got to win. And I got to tell you something. Like you said it. If we take one game from each of these series, like that's a very minimal goal.
Mm-hmm.
And tonight is a big time to take that game.
Chance to do it. And we got Sandy going tomorrow. But then we got a break, then to Wrigley. And that place can be pretty, not only awe-inspiring for these kids that haven't been there to play there, but that they're at full capacity. So you're going to get a full-on crowd reaction from at every single point in that game. And it's going to be amazing. And they're probably going to wear City Connect again. So let's see.
Yeah, the place is going to be electric.
Yeah.
The place is going to be electric.
Yeah.
And they hate Miami.
Yep. They kind of do.
From the Bateman days.
Yeah, they do.
They hate Miami.
Yeah. Oh, Steve Bartman, you mean? Yeah.
Or did I say Bateman? Bartman.
Yeah. They almost killed that guy after the game. I think somebody down here offered him a condo or whatever to escape, to live in exile as a Cubs fan. I think they actually,
I think they've accepted him now.
Yeah, here's something cool though. When they won the World Series in 2016, they actually gave him a ring.
They reaccepted him into the tribe.
I don't know that everybody did, but at least like the organization itself, there's still some rabid fans out there that would probably take a shot at him if they ran, walked up next to him on the street or whatever. Poor guy. Tough spot. Got the headphones on, not really paying attention. Bad move. Hated forever. Like, yeah.
that we can remember his name, Bartman.
That's crazy. That guy, no one would ever remember that guy. He's like some computer analyst or developer, whatever. Crazy. All right, so tonight 8:15 start again, and then I think tomorrow is an early game. Let me double check that because I'm pretty sure I heard yesterday that the third, 1:15 on Wednesday.
I got killed last night because
that's crazy because the game is actually wait a minute. Today's Tuesday. Tomorrow's Wednesday, Weenie Wednesday.
Yep.
The game is going to be going on while Weenie Wednesday is happening.
Do I need to bring a TV in or what?
I think we'll be able to pull it up here somehow, right? Yeah, we can. Yeah.
All right, I'll bring my stick in here and we'll stick it
some
in.
Illegal cable. Let's stealing some cable.
We can watch
whoever.
Last night I was watching the St. Louis broadcast.
Nice.
I was able to watch all the commercials from St. Louis.
So 1:15 tomorrow, then back to the late games, the 8:05s in Chicago on Friday.
Yeah, I had a rough night last night because it was and then the Stanley Cup play. I mean the not the Stanley Cup, but the playoffs. Montreal's playing Las Vegas, and it was in Las Vegas, so it was a 9 a.m. start for my hockey too. So
9 p.m.
9 p.m. So I was up late watching.
Who won that game?
Oh my God, the Canadians got killed. Vegas, as you said, you're pro America.
Well, I'm 100% pro, America for sure, but also the West, if NHL West.
Howard laughing over there.
Got to be 100% America.
100% America.
Yeah, dude, I'm not cheering for any Canadian team.
Remember this is your hat.
That's the
American heritage hat.
That's it, man. Didn't we invent that sport?
It's not baseball enough. It's not American enough. You got to put an American flag on Tommy's hat.
That's it, man. Embroidered with pride, made in the USA. All right, so let's flip the M tonight. Episode 82 is in the books. Tomorrow is Weenie Wednesday.
Weenie Wednesday.
We will have chili on hot
David
dog.
Arbetter, I'll be there.
There will be chili on these dogs, and there will be French fries and potentially tater tots.
Ooh.
I will be texting Dave tomorrow morning to give him the preliminary order.
Awesome.
But I'm thinking a bunch of them with mustard, chili, onions.
I'm already looking forward to that.
Yep, on the soubrette though, with a snap to it.
There's a word in Spanish, Howard. That's one of my favorite words. I always love when there's words.
It's called pendejo.
It's like you know how I'm gonna let that go. You know how they talk about German has like certain words that summarize like a really deep concept, and I always say "Comelon" summarizes a deep concept. Fat guy that eats a lot.
That's it.
Like,
that makes a lot of sense.
So
that's actually should be the subtitle of our show.
The Comelones are looking forward to our betters.
Oh, we can't wait tomorrow. And Denise will be back. She only likes ketchup, mustard, and relish on hers. So we'll have to get at least 2 like that.
Yeah, for D-Nice. Even Howard gets a wiener.
Yeah.
And then tomorrow's, we're going to award a wiener and a hot dog.
Wiener of the game and top dog.
Top dog.
Top dog tomorrow. So let's flip the M. Go fish. Episode 82 is in the books.
Preview.